Howdy do, you traveling artist you. I wanted to pop in with a quick reminder to keep painting, keep traveling, keep adventuring along with your palette. Keep it with you, keep it in your car, keep it in your backpack, and pull it out as often as you possibly can. It can be hard sometimes, but and I'm reminded of that these days. But today, and actually the last couple weeks, I've been traveling and using my fabric canvases that I can just roll up, and along with a sketchbook that I like to paint in. And I thought I'd share today kind of what I've been working on, and I hope that it will inspire you to paint, create, draw, whatever it is. So I'm out here on this beautiful fall day, soaking up some rays before they go away. Anyway, let me show you what I've been working on. Okay, so this is the journal that I've been traveling with, and let me show you some of the things I've been working on. Actually, in the back of these journals, I love this because they have this little collection spot, and I've actually been on the road for about 3 weeks now, so I've been just keeping things that inspire me. Notes. This was painted with bubbles, just with bubbles. It was the most fabulous lesson from my friend Susan. And just some notes about some of the local animals and things. So these are just some of the things I've collected during this trip. A lot of times I'll find leaves and pine needles, things like that in here too. But I'm gonna go back here to the beginning. This is kind of what I've been working on for the last 3 weeks. So this is a medicine wheel. We have the east, the south, the west, and the north. Love this. These little guys are very colorful. I was working from a picture when I worked on this. So if you're traveling, no matter where you are, you can pull up a picture in a magazine, or you can pull up a picture in your phone, or you can just use your imagination. To get this circle, I think I used a plate or something like that that was just in the cabin that I had been staying in. And I've been traveling with my art supplies. This was just a basic, very much was craving a lotus and blooming action here. This was done with acrylics. I'm feeling that Native American vibe, kind of a headdress with acrylics here. I knew I was going to be spending time in teepees, and I did. And this is just a whole lot of fun. Again, this is all painting via bubbles. Look at this up close here. Isn't that just so cool? Those crystally ones. So I could just sit and do that like all day. I could fill a whole book with that. These were some of my notes on the road. Just some doodles as I was thinking. This is Lake Wallowa that I just, I'm actually not quite finished with this. It needs a little bit more work probably, but I have the bones here. So this is a really good example of painting on the road. Even though this isn't finished, I know exactly where I want to go from here with just some kind of sharper lines and some details. So you can just get those quick colors in. So I know here, okay, we've got trees growing here, so I'll probably put some more here. I was kind of showing myself that the sky here was lighter than the color of the lake. So by grabbing those colors from your palette while you're there, you can kind of see the seasons changing here. It's really, really helpful to grab those colors while you can. And if you can't do it in your sketchbook in that moment, just snap a picture and use a picture. This was inspired by Whitney Freya. It's a rainbow serpent. This is watercolor and watercolor crayon. It's kind of fun. I saw an eagle on my travels, and it's ingrained in my memory, and I will never, ever, ever forget it. But I did not get a picture, so I painted what I saw to the best of my ability. This was just calming my monkey mind on the road. I was feeling like I needed to paint, but I was really tired and didn't know what to paint. And this is a very balancing exercise to paint with a deep, rich side and a light side, and balance it all together. I have a workshop coming up on this actually, but I needed this on the road, and thank goodness I had all my tools. Buck is one of my power animals, and he keeps coming to me in my meditations, and actually I've come to realize he is very much connected with Chief Joseph. Chief Joseph and the Buck are very, very similar, or one and the same for me in terms of spiritual guidance. And this was another just doodle while I was probably doing something else or listening to a podcast or something. But when I don't know where to go, I just paint circles, and it makes me feel really, really good. So I painted this on the full moon in the dark. Probably could use some more details, but it's all good. I've got that nice, yummy full moon energy here. And this was painted in Joseph, Oregon. And this is actually a painting of this, where I am right now. Let me show you. So it's a little hazy today, but I painted it the other day, and the mountains were kind of a really violet purple, matching, popping with the sky. So you can see the colors I'm using, or I used that day, are very different and vivid in terms of what we see here today. But I always kind of tend to go with the really bright colors. This is one of my secret little spots here at Lake Tahoe on the North Shore, and this is a spot where I've been coming for a very long time, since I was a kid, just to get away from the busyness of this place sometimes. And I can always come to this special little place and find some solitude. So this is what I painted here the other day. This is another mind balancing, just letting myself chillax using tertiary colors, complementary colors, and balance. And this is actually something I'm working on right now. It's right behind me. And I've been sitting here just kind of doodling my own doodle of this spot, playing around with my watercolors. It's been really fun because I have seen lots of little woodpeckers and bunny rabbits, and there's some sort of a sparrow, but the birds are really active today. It's been nice sitting here spending time with them. So you can see this is in process, and I've got my colors down enough here where I am probably not going to finish it today. I'm going to go ahead and start a new sketch because there's these, I just want to work on painting rocks. They're really fun because you can just use a couple colors and do a lot of blending, and they just sort of, you know, magically appear. So I'm just quickly going to put in the horizon line. That always helps with an anchor. We've talked about that in our class. And then I want to bring in, there's all this sparkly water over here. That's what I really want to focus on. I'm going to kind of do a close-up on it. So sparkles, 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 and then there's all these lovely rocks. And I'm just going to kind of put in the shapes where I see them. There's these big ones here going over that water. There's another big one here. He's got kind of another lump coming out of him. There's another little guy peeping out back here. So I just have my quick sketch. This is the sky, the water, the rocks. We can put in our my mountains back here. And I simply do that by just looking at the mountains across the lake. And I'm not trying to make this perfect in any way. I'm just roughly using the little peaks and valleys that I see in the distance. Okay, so that helps us get our bearings there a little bit. Put in another little mountain there. And now at this point, that's just the basics. So we've got our sky. So this is going to help me when I get home and finish it, or, you know, on whatever day that I choose to finish. I know I won't do that today, but this is going to give me something to work on. And the water in my pen is water filled from the lake. There's a helicopter coming over for the fire water pickup, so just ignore that. And then today the mountains back there, they're kind of like a cobalt blue, like just a deeper blue than the sky. So I'll just kind of put that in there, and I'm gently squeezing on this brush once it's loaded with the color, just to squeeze out some water so that I'm spreading my first layer. Not necessarily evenly, but I'm using some good water in there too to get some darks and lights going. All right, so those give us some mountains here, basic. And then the water is looking very, very similar to the mountains. It's just a little bit lighter and darker in some spots. So across the lake, it's a little lighter. Just to make a little bit of a difference in these colors, I'm gonna put a little bit of violet, blue violet. You can see that kind of pinky color in there. Just adding a little bit of purple to the mountains. So that's how we roll. Okay, so it gives us some bearings, and then our rocks today. They're kind of gray. What I'm using for my rocks is, here's my palette. I like to use in my rocks gray and brown ochre together. And also I like to bring in a little bit of the burnt umber or burnt sierra. For this area, there's a lot of iron in the ground. So you see that kind of red mineral. So I like to put that into my painting. So let's start off with a little bit of gray. So I just load up my brush, and then let's start with this guy right in the middle. And just kind of plop some water in there and get him going. And you can see here, just with that one layer, that always looks, that, you know, it looks kind of rocky already, but you can bring in some of those brown burnt sienna or the burnt ochre and bring that in there, and it kind of brings that earthy color out and that iron color. And just kind of keep painting till my brush is clean-ish, and then I bring in some more. Get this in gray again. And then I can use like a black or darker gray at the bottoms, or especially like in these cracks here, I'll always put in between those rocks a nice dark crack. So putting some shadows in there. Especially in these little nooks and crannies where the sun doesn't get in there as easily. The rocks are usually a darker color, so I'm going to put this darker gray down there. And then I'm going to leave it at this for today. But this does give me my bearings for when I want it to continue with this one. So at this point, I've got this one I can continue on with. You know, maybe that's going to be on the side of the road or at a rest stop or on the front porch. you know, who knows, when I'm watching TV, whatever. And this one is now in process as well. So it's as easy as that, just taking a couple minutes to quickly make that sketch or take that picture. You guys know that, but I'm just coming to you to give you a quick reminder to always keep your supplies with you, keep them handy. Use water from the source to make it extra special. And when I get back to the cabin, I'm going to show you some of the other paintings that I've been doing on the road as well. And these ones are done on just loose canvas, which is a really fun tool when you're traveling. And it's not something that I've shared with you just yet. So with the magic of technology, I'm going to beam up to the cabin. Poof! And I'm here at the cabin. Let me show you those canvases I was talking about. Using canvases like this. This is, you know, usually when you get a canvas, you know, that has the frame around it, the wood frame, it's called a framed canvas, stretched frame canvas. This is just the fabric. It's treated, it's ready to paint, but you can put it onto a canvas if you want. You can use this as kind of a tapestry if you'd like. And there's a lot of different ways. I've seen them just hanging on the wall like this and it looks fabulous. And it's just that canvas that you can get by the roll. So this is one of the pieces I've been kind of working on while I'm on the road. You can see lots of different layers going on in there. And this is all done in acrylic. There's smaller sizes here too. So you could go smaller if you'd like. And this is kind of what it looks like on the back side. But you can also paint on both sides of these and have two paintings in one if you'd like. And this was just a simple, and what started out as a coyote, but I don't know, it kind of looks like a fox. And we've got this nice hollow bone doodle I've been doing. And on the back, there's kind of another one with some different colors. And here's another one that I've been working on. And this, you can see I've used the back of this as a drop cloth when I'm out someplace working on something else. And then I'll probably paint over that. But for now, this is one of my meditative paintings. So we'll see where that goes. There's Buck again, Chief Joseph, and that eagle again. So cool. So if you're limited on space or if you're traveling, a roll of canvas can be great because you can chop it up into whatever shape, whatever sizes that you'd like. It comes in different sizes. Like I was saying, the smaller or the larger. And you can roll them up. You can actually just even fold them up, stick them in your suitcase. It's just super, super easy and great for travel. Thanks for your time today. If you're already enrolled in my Traveling Artist course, then I hope you've really enjoyed this bonus lesson. And if you're not enrolled in that course yet and you're seeing this video and you think, oh, this looks like fun, I invite you to come on over to my classroom at shamamama.teachable.com and sign up for that course, The Traveling Artist, because there's tons and tons of great information in there and lots of fun lessons. Again, thank you for your time today. Many blessings to you and yours. Namaste.